Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make these little awesome ghosts. Now they're really basic forms, but that means it gives you more fun to knock out a whole bunch of these and then do all different faces on them. I've left faces off of these because I haven't decided what face I want to do on them yet, but as you can see, this one has a chain to hang it with, and this one just has some string, so you can do either depending on which one. You can tie that or loop it through something here. It's whichever way you want to secure them, but they're really basic sheet ghost form that's just really fun and simple to play with. And obviously you can make them fatter, you can make them longer, it's up to you, but I thought I'd show you how to do these. Okay, so obviously we need a hook. Again, I'm using DK weight yarn, so we're on a 4mm hook. I'm using a stitch marker because we're working in the round, so it's easier to work with a stitch marker. And then your yarn. So the beginnings of these are just your basic magic ring circle that you start any toy with. So it's the same formula as any others that you would make in a ball. So that says we start with a magic ring with 6 single crochets. If you don't know how to do a magic ring, I will try to remember to link in the iCard one of these sides in it the magic ring video that I do have. If I forget, then just mention in the comments and I'll do it again. Okay, so we're just doing 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and pull that good and tight. I've never had this come undone on me in anything I've done by just pulling it really tight, but if you're worried you can just sew this end in and it will definitely stay put, but I don't sew it until the end. It's always been fine for me. Okay, so next we need to do the increase round. For this one we're taking it from 6 to 12, so we're going to increase in every stitch, which is just 2 single crochets in every 6 around, every stitch around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So that's 2 stitches in every stitch around. This is one I usually put my stitch marker on because it's easier for me to keep track of where we are. Okay, so next we need to increase to 18 stitches, and we do that by doing 1 single crochet and then doing 2 in the next stitch. Okay, so you just do the 1, then you do 2 into the next one, and you repeat that all the way around. So 1 and then 2 into the next one. You do all that the whole way round and you'll end up with 18 stitches at the end. So I'm not going to count them all with you because no need to, but just do 1 and then 2. If you forget where you are, just look and you'll be able to see which one's got 2 in and which one's only got 1 in. Should finish on an increase. Okay, so that's your 18 stitches. So move your stitch mark over and up, Okay, so next one we want to do another increase row. We're going to go to 24 stitches this time, and we do that by going a single crochet in 2 stitches and then an increase in the 3rd stitch. So just do 1, 2 and then increase, and we'll repeat that all the way around. So 1, 2 and increase in the 3rd. If you ever get stuck to where you should be increasing, if I can show you this, you can see your last increase stitch is here. Now we're going to do 1, 2 and we're going to increase in there, and your increase should always fall on that last stitch in your previous row's increase. And if you can always make sure it falls there, you don't really need to worry about keeping count too much, because it will always fall in the same place if you're following this basic increase pattern. So we're just doing 2 single crochets and then an increase row, increase stitch, sorry. And do that all the way around. Finishing with an increase stitch as always. Okay, so now we have 24 stitches. That's the end of the increases for a little while. Now we're just going to go 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and we're going to do that for rows 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Okay, so we've just done 4 rows, and basically you want to take it to 11 rows just doing 24 stitches, so just going round and round. So we're just going to keep going round. No increases at all needed. By doing this, it's what creates it to come down. So this up here, we've done our increases to this point, and by not increasing and just going round, we create this tube. And this will work no matter what size you're doing. You could go wider stitches using the same increase methods, or less increases, and then just go round without increasing. You will create a tube. And it's almost finished the first round. Remember, we're just going to keep on going, so just pick your stitch up, move along and keep on going round. If you're not sure how many rows you've done, if you just look and see, you've got your magic ring in the centre here, then you'll count from your magic ring, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Can you see that? So the magic ring's 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 rows has now been completed. That's the 4 increase and the 1 that I just done all the way around. So you can always count your rows if you're a little stuck on where you got to. Though with this project, it doesn't really matter if you do miss a row or go 1 extra row. It's not going to make a huge impact on this, because these are just a little bit of fun, very simple basic ghost form. These can be adjusted to do other shapes as well, like a bell for Christmas, which I will probably pop a video out for at some point to show you how to adjust it to make it more of a bell shape rather than a ghost sheet shape. But we're just going round. So now I've done 2 rounds and I have to do 5 more, so I will meet you back here when I've done all 11 rounds, okay? So see you in a second. Okay guys, so I'm just about to do the last couple of stitches on row 11, so that's them done. Move my stitch marker across, and now we have different row for row 12. So what we want to do is just do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now we're just going to work back down that chain, so you could do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we've done 5 single crochets down that chain, and we're going to slip stitch back into the stitch we did that single crochet in. Just slip stitch right back into it. And then we got our first little leg, which will become wider for the wavy parts of the sheet. So now we're going to do 6 single crochets. So single crochet into the next stitch and then do 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we're going to do the same thing again, so chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I'm really sorry if you can hear the stitch marker banging on the table. Again we're going to do 5 single crochets down, so single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Next 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then slip stitch into that same stitch that we did the original single crochet in, and then 6 single crochets around again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then again we're going to do 6 chains, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 5 back down, so 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Slip stitch into that same stitch that we did the single crochet in, and again do 6 single crochets around, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The final chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 5 single crochets back down the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and slip stitch into that first single crochet again. Okay, now we're going to single crochet until the end of the row, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and now we're at the end of the row because the 6th stitch is the stitch we've already done the leg in. Okay, so now they're all evenly spaced around. We're going to start working around these. So take your stitch marker and pop it up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is do a decrease. So in that first stitch before the leg, and excuse me, so sorry. So the first stitch before the leg and the first stitch on the leg, we want to decrease over them, but be careful not to accidentally go in that slip stitch. So you want to go in this first one here, and then you want to miss that there because that's the slip stitch, and you want to go in the first stitch on the leg. And we're just decreasing over there, and then we're going to work up this side of the chain, down this side, and we're going to do a decrease there. So up the side of the leg is 1, 2, 3, 4 up, then switch over to the other side and work 4 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 down. We're not doing any increases on the top here. There's no need for it because we want the edges to curl slightly like a sheet would. So now we need to do a decrease here again. So the last stitch on the leg, now remember, skip over that slip stitch and go into the next stitch. Okay, and then single crochet over to the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, and we are over to the next decrease point. So remember which stitch to go in. You want to make sure you don't accidentally go in that slip stitch. And then we'll do 4 up and then 4 down the other side, so 8 total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to do the decrease again. So 1 from the leg, 1 from the body, and then single crochet to the next leg. I'm just going to repeat that around until we get to our marker again. So you're going to do the decrease, and then you're going to do 4, do a decrease, do 8 around, do a decrease, do 4, decrease, 8 around, and decrease. I hope that makes sense for you all. Written instructions are provided on my blog just in case you prefer to work with them, but as I am new to writing patterns, they may not be brilliant and you might need to refer to this video. I recommend using them both together so that you can guarantee you know what I mean. I'm hoping my pattern skills are improving, but it's going to take a while to know that I'm doing right. Until people actually make my patterns and tell me of any problems, I'm not going to know. So if you want to test my patterns and tell me if there's any problems, feel free to. We're just doing the decrease again. Basically just a repeating pattern around, and the next row is going to be the same pattern, but we'll obviously have less stitches as we've decreased. We're almost finished. Not much more to go. It doesn't take long to get these done. Okay, so we are back at the stitch marker. We've been around them all, so we're going to do the same thing again, but obviously a few less stitches. So decrease, 1 off the body, 1 off the leg, up around the leg, you should be able to see the stitches pretty easy to go up and around. And you're just going to do this all the way around. Then we're decreasing again. And then single crochets between the legs, which by this point is 3 single crochets. Then a decrease. And up the side of the leg again. Down the other side of the leg. I'm calling them legs, but they're not really legs, are they? but I just think it was easier to describe them that way. Then decrease. 3 single crochets over to the next leg, and then a decrease. I'm really sorry if that stitch marker is annoying you. Try to go a bit higher, maybe keep it away. We're just working up the leg here, and then around the top of the leg, then down to the stitch before the last one, so that we can do a decrease. See, so there's our decrease stitches there. So we just decrease one off the body, one off the leg, then 3 single crochets, back to decreasing. See, so it's a really simple pattern to follow. Once you've got the first leg done, you pretty much know what you're doing. And this is actually the last row, so you're almost finished. I'm just going to go down here and last decrease and back to the stitch marker. There we go. Take the stitch mark off and then slip stitch and fasten off for the end. Then you weave in your ends, give everything a little pull to even it all out. I'm just going to pull my string through so I can hold it up a minute, but normally you'd secure this off and use a separate string. Just makes it easy for me to hold a minute. There we go. So that is your new ghost. And as I said, just pop any face you like on there. Could be a funny one, a scary one, anything you like really, it doesn't really matter. And then you can string these all up. And have a little bunting with them, or hang them from the ceiling. These are light enough to be used with sellotape or blue tack to your ceiling or to your wall or door, anything you like really. So I hope that has helped a little and just gives a really nice simple ghost. You can even have your children pick the faces. You can even give them a pen and let them draw the faces on, it's not going to matter. They're just a little bit of fun. So I hope that's helped. Any questions, pop them down below. As said, the link to the written instructions will be down in the description, so please check that out. Please give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoy these videos. There will be more tutorials coming soon, hopefully daily throughout October, and many more tutorials coming in the new year. And also daily vlog videos telling you what I've been up to for the day. So I hope you enjoy, have a great time, and I will see you all soon. Take care.